Welcome to the UN Brief. Today we interviewed Alex Wong from the International Telecommunications Union here in Geneva and Michael Wims, partner and director at the Boston Consulting Group. They just released a report in partnership with ITU about the models of revenue for delivering connectivity to schools in the Global South. UNICEF and ITU have joined the forces to deliver connectivity to all schools in the Global South. So far, 1 million schools have been mapped out. Thank you for watching the UN Brief, and don't forget to subscribe.
So working with the other UN is critical. I mean, this is hopefully one of the messages is that, when we work together as the UN, as a single UN, as much as possible, we're going to be much more effective. So on the connectivity itself, you mentioned UNESCO. Both Chris, Fabian, and myself will be at the Rewired Education Conference in Dubai, where the Connectivity Education Declaration will be announced. And ITU and UNICEF and GIGA have been very pleased that we've been working with UNESCO on that. So that's an example. But maybe the other question you referred to is really that last pillar of GIGA: map, connect, finance, empower. So empower pillar is where this all comes together to actually deliver the value to the young people and to the community. That's the content, the skills. And so GIGA, we're very open to say our focus, the primary focus is the map, connect, finance. Let's lay the infrastructure, but this won't be a complete picture until we bring in all the service providers, all the content providers. And that's absolutely where, whether it's UNESCO or UNDP or the World Food Program, et cetera, all need to be then working with us to provide the content. And I'll just give you, a couple examples. ITU has worked with WHO on mobile solutions for health. We've been talking to them on how we can expand our partnership, and GIGA is an obvious example. And the other one is the UN Human Commission for Refugees, UNHCR, if I got that acronym correct, where we are working with them on refugee connectivity. And again, GIGA, the schools themselves could provide the node that can provide connectivity to the refugee community. So these are the examples of other UN agencies of where we are discussing how we can collaborate together.
So the other aspect I would like to discuss today is that you have announced, UNICEF has announced, I don't know if that is in partnership with ITU, you have announced a 5 billion bond. What does that mean? Is that UNICEF issuing that? How does that work? Country members can purchase? Walk us through a little bit of how these innovative ways of financing development work.
So now we're moving to the finance pillar. We use estimates of anywhere from 428 billion all the way to, BCG has done work that estimates the cost is up to even 2.5 whatever plus trillion. So we know it's somewhere in there. So 5 billion is just a fraction. And this is the inspiration from Gavi that we are following, where Gavi really got going by approaching some donors and foundations to make a pledge. It wasn't an investment, it was a pledge of capital that then allowed Gavi to then monetize that into some cash flows to start vaccinating some kids and start helping countries with their health systems. So our $5 billion GIGA bond is also a donor-backed bond. We're asking donors primarily, maybe there's a few wealthy foundations and individuals out there, to basically make a commitment. And if we can do that through some very simple financial engineering, you can turn that into a bond that you sell on the marketplace, and then you can collect annual payments where you can then monetize that bond. And then we can start what I like to use, priming the pump, getting the project, getting the countries ready for the future investments, providing some immediate connectivity to some of the most vulnerable citizens, but also laying some of the foundation so that you're creating the environment for later on the big dollars to come in through innovative financing. So that's what the bond is. It's really an attempt to let's now get moving. We've demonstrated that we can do this in the countries that we're active in. We've demonstrated that we can map the schools and the 1 million milestone. Now it's time to get this to scale. And so the bond is really to kind of take us to that next level.
Michael, would you like to add something to that too?
Well, I think sort of as Alex said, and I think as I also tried to lay out in my earlier contribution, if we can get the schools connected using the money from this bond, we're going to get a virtuous cycle to start running. And with sustainable business model, that means once the connectivity is in place, once the communities are enabled, once they start experiencing the benefits, not only for the school system, but for the whole village or the whole community around it, we're going to get this to grow quite rapidly. And that, I think, when I look at the financial analysis that we've done, it also means that that bond is not charity. It should be a real investment going forward, which delivers a real return, not only financially, but also a real return for the people in all of these communities.
Thank you very much. Pleasure speaking with you. Alex Wong from the International Telecommunications Union and co-lead of GIGA Connect with Chris Fabian of UNICEF. And we had the pleasure to have Michael Wims from the Boston Consulting Group that prepared a report for ITU. Thank you for watching and listening to the UN Brief. And don't forget to subscribe